Hello and welcome back to another video on the JJ Think Tank. In this one, I want to talk about the Napoleonic era again, but this time the peaceful side of this era. We won't be talking about war. We will be talking about peace, the Congress of Vienna, and why this was a unique Congress. A lot of degeneracy took place during this Congress. I discovered this after reading this book by Zamoyski, Rise of Peace, The Fall of Napoleon and the Congress of Vienna. And I'd like to share my thoughts on what I read, and perhaps as I am presenting my findings, something might appear in my mind. And yeah, I've made a few videos about Napoleon, about the Napoleonic era now, I think. Maybe a couple of videos. And I guess this is because we are living in these times again. These crazy European leaders, they're escalating. They want to fight against Russia. They want a war with Russia, yes, and we want to avoid this, yes. We want peace. We want a new peace to emerge between Europe and Russia. This war in Ukraine and the wider problem, the wider confrontation between Europe and Russia can be solved via diplomacy, honest diplomacy. At this stage, I guess this can only be achieved by getting rid of all these crazy European leaders and putting more sane European leaders in charge. But this is my view personally. But anyway, let's hope for the best. So it's a great book. I'm a big fan of Zamoyski. He's a British-Polish historian. He has written a number of great books. I like this one. I liked his one 1812, which I have reviewed already. He's written a couple of books also about Poland and a couple of biographies as well. One biography about Chopin. I think a few more biographies. I think he's a great writer and a great historian. So let's talk about the Congress. This was the most comprehensive treaty of its kind in Europe, and the Congress, it lasted for several months between 1814 and 1815, and it's a landmark in the history of diplomacy, definitely. So if you are interested in diplomacy, if you are interested in becoming a diplomat, then or even engaging in online diplomacy, because everyone can become a bit of a diplomat now in the online world. We've got these tools at our disposal, Twitter, etc., and we can build our audience in order to have an impact on politics, yes, and what will happen, I think. And this is why I agree to an extent with the constructionist view of international relations. Things are not set in stone. We can shape the outcomes, yes, via culture, via discourse, via ideas, etc. I don't want to fall back on this pessimistic, realist view of international relations. Of course, politics is based on interests, on realism, of course, but still, we can shape outcomes to a degree, I think. So, my first lasting impression, after discovering the affairs of this famous Congress, is the backsliding that constantly took place, like shifting alliances, meetings behind back doors, suspicions of the leading heads of state. They're all playing a game, and games people play came to mind. Yes, this book written by Edward Berne, I think his name is Edward Berne. I've reviewed the book, Games People Play. A psychological masterpiece, I guess. One I think that everyone should read because the basic thesis of this book, Games People Play, is that even adults, yes, they play these childish games. They're being immature, and the winner is actually the person who reaches the adult ego state first. This is his theory, and I kind of get what he's saying. I do agree with him because I've noticed this in my life that I've been in these different relationships with people. These relationships were immature, based on childish games, and over time I've realised that it's not good to play these pathological games. Yes, the winner is the person who reaches the adult ego state first. This is true, I think, definitely. By the way, going back to the Congress of Vienna, yes. So yes, a lot of intrigue, guesswork. All the leaders were trying to guess the moves of the other leaders. Alliances were traded. It was a chaotic environment. But yes, what really motivated the Allies to actually reach some form of compromise was Napoleon himself, because Napoleon he re-emerged. Yes, he re-emerged, which which in the end cost France. Yes, but the Allies, they were wary. Yes, they thought, if Napoleon re-emerged before, he might emerge again. Yes, so. What I remember the most about this book was Talleyrand. So I've covered Talleyrand also in another video, and he was able to use his diplomatic skills in order to avoid France losing more. But the skills of Talleyrand were useful. More concessions were made to France, more lenient concessions, and France lost less of her territory. So initially, the Congress of Vienna was supposed, yes, to be a formal ratification of the terms agreed previously in Paris. But as I alluded to before, Napoleon scuppered the plans, yes, because he appeared again. He made a return, yes. And a funny moment during the book was when all the diplomats, all the important leaders, they said, "Damn, the ogre is back! The ogre, Napoleon the ogre." This was quite funny to read about. But now I'd like to go into the juicy nuggets when it comes to the actual countries, what was agreed upon, territorial arrangements, etc. And this is relevant to me because, and I guess to everyone, because I think we are now on the verge of something potentially changing in Europe and in Russia. Will the countries of Europe, as we see them today, will they maintain their current territorial arrangement, or will some nation states expand? Will some nation states disappear completely from the map, or will they just get smaller? I think in the next 5 to 10 years, a lot of things could change in Europe. Some states might lose out, others won't. Yes, so, and this is why I think reading about the rise of peace and the Congress of Vienna, we can perhaps predict what might happen. For me, this was relevant because in the book, the main areas of contention for the leading powers were Saxony and Poland. So yes, Poland is always a sticking point, yes, because Poland, it's in between East and West. Poland always has had to struggle for its independence, for its sovereignty. It's in a sense Poland is both weak and strong at the same time. I guess it's a paradox, yes. So Russia wanted to create a kingdom of Poland under her control. So this is one option for Poland, and now I believe this is an option because Poland is being hemmed in from both sides. I think via Ukraine and via the EU and Germany, and that's why Poland needs to re-establish diplomatic and economic arrangements and political arrangements with Russia and Belarus in order to counteract this. And we can see this now in Poland. Poland is pursuing policies that are viewed as being more pro-Russian, yes? So, yes, there's a parallel here, yes? But yeah, Prussia and Austria would rather her not exist at all. And this reinforces my view that out of the three countries, which are now, well, before they were Russia, Prussia, and Austria, but now we could say that the three countries are Germany, Russia, and perhaps Ukraine allied with Britain, because there is a link between the Ukrainian establishment and the British establishment. Out of these three options, Russia is the best option for Poland. Russia will help Poland maintain its sovereignty, I think. So yes, this is why I view Polish history in a completely different way to many other historians, Polish historians, or even British, whatever, historians in general. I think as much as Poland, in general, Polish people, they hate Russia. They've got this Russophobia. We have to accept the fact that we actually need Russia. Yes. But I guess a lot of Polish people, they say that it's not they don't hate the Russians as a people. It's more the Russian state, yes, the government, because this government restricts freedom, it enslaves other nations. I mean, I guess to a degree this is true, but at the same time we have to accommodate our country and our state to Russia. So yes, in general, I think Russia was actually a protector of Polish sovereignty. This is my view. But no, anyway, moving on. Saxony. So let's check where actually is Saxony. Saxony. Where is this? Okay, Saxony. This is this part of Germany, Eastern Germany. Let's see the map. What cities are found here? Okay, Dresden, Chemnitz, Zwickau, Leipzig. I mean, a lot of Eastern Germany is definitely more Slavic. A lot of Slavic influence can be found in Eastern Germany. Germans with Slavic ancestry. So this is interesting for me as well, because yes, Saxony during the Congress of Vienna also played an important role. Obviously, there is a rivalry in general between Germany and Austria about who will lead the Germanic peoples. Because Austria is a bit different from Germany, I think. Austria is more, perhaps, this is my interpretation, I might be wrong, but Austria perhaps is a bit more refined as a country. The people are more refined. They don't fall into this barbaric mentality that Germany does fall into sometimes. Yes, and this is why, for example, Mozart was Austrian, right? Mozart was an Austrian, not a German. Mozart's nationality, Austrian and German. Yes. So here's a whole debate. Yes, was Mozart German? Was he Austrian? Personally, I think he was Austrian. You can hear this in his music. So yeah, I think. So yeah, Saxony is quite unexpected, but this region was important because whoever controlled this region would control kind of the Germanic peoples, so either Prussia or Austria. Prussia is definitely more militaristic in its mentality. So we can think of Bismarck, the Teutonic Knights. They are associated with Prussia, whereas Austria is not like this. And this is why when Poland was divided, yes, when Poland didn't exist as a country and it was divided between Russia, Germany, and Austria. Well, Russia, Prussia, and Austria. I've heard from many commentators, many historians, that life was the best in the Austrian occupation, in the region where in the regions where Poland was occupied by Austria. And Austria was much more lenient to Poles and to the development of Polish culture. It didn't want to destroy Poland and its culture. So, I mean, this is an important fact to highlight. If you're Polish, yes. Well, in the end, Prussia gained this territory. Prussia gained Saxony, not Austria. And I guess now, if Saxony, because in Germany there's a divide taking place. Western Germany, Eastern Germany, they are definitely different in their mentality. In the West, in Western Germany, in general, it's more multicultural. It's more liberal, whereas Eastern Germany is more nationalistic. Yes. So it's interesting. Yes. What will happen in Eastern Germany? Whether Austria will get involved, maybe. We'll see. Anyway, moving on. For Britain, Belgium and Holland... Oh, no, excuse me. For Britain, Belgium and Holland were significant due to the country's maritime interests. So she made sure that they were neutral and not under the boot of either the French or the Prussians. So this was an interesting fact. I didn't really know about this before. Well, yes, for Britain, Belgium and Holland were significant. And yes, I guess this makes sense, yes, because Belgium and Holland, they are kind of independent, aren't they? I mean, they could easily fall under the boot of the French or the Prussians, yes? Because, they're right on their doorstep, but they are independent. I guess Britain made sure that this was the case. And I guess this is Britain's strategy. Because Britain wants to protect her interests, and Britain engages in divide and conquer strategy. And I guess every country does this, but Britain is the master because Britain has more of perhaps of a bird's eye view because Britain is an island and it can So yeah, overall it is relatively straightforward to deduce who the winners and losers were from this treaty. So the losers, according to Zamoyski, were Italy, France, Poland, Denmark, and Holland. The winners were Russia and Britain more so, according to Zamoyski. Now I'd like to talk about the characters, the chief characters of this time. They were Metternich, Alexander, so Alexander the Tsar, Castlereagh, I don't know how to pronounce this properly. I think he was an Irish-British diplomat. Castlereagh. I think that's how you pronounce it. Londonderry, yes. I think he's from Ireland, yes. Statesman. Well, yeah, I guess he worked as a diplomat during this time for Britain, yes. Wellington and then obviously Talleyrand, yes. And Zamoyski talks about their personalities. This was also interesting. So Metternich was the conservative brain behind the whole affair, and he had a massive impact on the final peace settlement. Alexander, the Tsar, was a charming eccentric with liberal impulses. So this was also interesting to notice. So now, slowly coming to an end, there's still a lot of debate about this Congress. Yes, Kissinger, yes, a controversial figure, quite an evil man, but he had a massive impact on recent history, and he claimed that it laid down a framework for a century of peace in Europe. But Zamoyski, on the other hand, he claims the contrary. He claims that the balance of power was upset, and I guess his argument makes sense, because afterwards we can see, yes, First World War, Second World War, yeah, and he also argues that it didn't create real change in the social order. Subsequent revolutions were seen. Yes, revolutions took place in the disaffected regions. So, and Zamoyski believes that since the Congress excluded second-rate states and concentrated power to the Allies, this in turn reduced the power of former imperial states such as Denmark, Holland, Naples, and Sweden. And because of this, there was a narrowing of the range of alliances, and therefore a lower chance of achieving a balance of power. Okay, this was his argument. I guess this does make sense, yes. Because recent history shows that a unipolar world, it wasn't really stable. The bipolar world also wasn't really stable. Soviet Union and America, they were constantly fighting against each other in various parts of the world. But if there are more alliances, more powers, more centers of power, then there's a greater chance of achieving this balance of power. And yeah, I guess you can make this argument. Finally, he argues that Zamoyski, that the consensus reached at Vienna broke down anyway a few years after, and that there were wars later on in the century. So let's see wars in the 19th century in Europe. Let's see. Napoleonic Wars. Okay, Crimean War, Italian Wars of Independence, Wars of German Unification. Okay, so yes, this is relevant, definitely, because we talked earlier about Prussia and Austria, and here there were the wars for the German unification of Bismarck. Yes. Okay, but I think that's the end of the video. I don't want to talk more. I don't want to waste more of your time. If you're interested in diplomacy, if you want to become a diplomat in the future, I think this is a very important book. You can learn a lot from this book. Learn a lot about the world of diplomacy. And yes, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it interesting. If you're still listening now, I really appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in to the JJ Think Tank and listening to what I have to say. If you are a new viewer, consider liking and subscribing, commenting. Let me know what you think. If you are an existing subscriber, the same. I'd like to know what you think about this. If you have any other perspectives, perhaps something important could be shared. But anyway, once again, thank you for listening, and I wish you all the best. Take care.